Hello everybody, Timothy Bailey from Project Learn. Today we're going to look at one piece of American cuisine, a classic, I call it. I made it for lunch today. Actually, I eat it often, even as an adult. We are looking at grilled cheese, or the grilled cheese sandwich. I don't know the history of the grilled cheese sandwich. It may have been grilled in the past. To be honest, it should be called the fried cheese sandwich or the lightly fried cheese sandwich. We don't usually grill them anymore. Either way, here's a fancy sort of one, right? It's got some herbs on it and looks like some nice stringy, perhaps mozzarella or provolone cheese. Here's a very simple traditional one. This one looks very close to what I did today. You can see the cheese coming out and lightly toasted here, right? You can see some sections that are not super toasted, not very toasted. And here's another one, sort of a spin on the traditional grilled cheese sandwich. I believe this is bacon is what it looks like inside. I do like that. I do like adding bacon to my grilled cheese. But later in this video, I'm looking at the traditional basic grilled cheese sandwich. But first, some general cooking vocabulary. I know many students are interested in cooking, so I think it's a topic that we might explore further. So these are some vocabulary words to help us. One of them is recipe. Okay, recipe. People still do use recipes, even though you can go to YouTube and watch someone. But to be honest, it's a very good skill to be able to take a recipe, the card like this, and follow the directions and do what it says. Okay, so this is a recipe, a card for a kind of cookie, a Snickers cookie. Okay, and there are a few parts to it. One are the ingredients. So those are usually first. Here are all the ingredients. 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of creamy peanut butter, all of these. Some foods, some recipes have few ingredients, such as the grilled cheese. And some foods have many, many ingredients. Okay. Another one are the steps or the directions, right? And that's usually down here, the second part, okay? Telling you to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, telling you to mix ingredients, telling you to cut the carrots, all these different things, right? Whatever you might need to do. Those are the steps. So the 3 basic parts for a recipe are the ingredients, the steps. Another thing that you will almost always see are the servings. And I might use the word makes. Up here, makes 60 cookies. 60, 60. Okay, so that's a lot of cookies. This is a big recipe. Okay, if you wanted to make less cookies, you would need to cut these ingredients down. Maybe half a cup of butter, 1 egg, for example. Okay, so the servings might also be, by the number of people. So if I'm making some sort of a Caesar salad, for example, it might say the servings are 4. What that means is for the suggested amount of salad, it would feed 4 people. Okay, that's what they're telling you. Now, some grilled cheese vocabulary. We have butter, right? Here's my butter, right? This is a stick of butter, right? Or at least part of a stick of butter, okay? You might also use butter from a tub, right, that you can get out that's a little bit softer. The other ingredient for grilled cheese, 2 slices of bread, right? Now, this grilled cheese makes 1 serving, 1 sandwich for 1 person, mainly me, right? If you wanted to make grilled cheese for 2 people, you would need 4 slices of bread. And I didn't put an amount on the butter. You just use as much butter as you think you need. So here are the 2 slices of bread. I'm using just white bread, Italian bread. You can use wheat bread, rye bread, all kinds of different breads. Okay. Another ingredient, 2 slices of American cheese. I typically use American cheese. I like the creaminess and the saltiness of it. You can use other cheeses, cheddar, provolone, mozzarella. You can use more than one kind of cheese. Okay, it's all up to you. Again, for me, growing up, this was the traditional way. So 2 slices of American cheese. Okay, and you can see from the bread and from the cheese, a slice is sort of a thin part of something. Okay, a slice of bread, a slice of cheese, right? Even a slice of pizza, one piece, right, of the pizza. Now, a couple other things you might need. You will need a skillet, right? Or if you saw the nouns in my kitchen video, a frying pan. Okay, mine is sort of a medium-sized one. And you will also probably want a spatula, right? A spatula to flip over the grilled cheese. Okay, to flip it over. Well, let's see, right? The process of making the grilled cheese. And I have my video here. All right, so we're gonna make a traditional grilled cheese sandwich, an American classic. I'm making the basic kind. This is the simplest kind you can make. One of the links in the presentation has a lot of other kinds you can make by adding different meats and vegetables. So I turned the heat up on my skillet pretty high, but not all the way up. I'm gonna throw some butter in here. My butter is not soft, it's a little cold in the room here, so I'm just throwing it in the skillet and I'm going to let that melt. If you use a tub of butter, something that's easy to spread on the bread, you could just take it and you could spread it and cover the whole surface of the bread. Okay, so we're doing it this way because our butter is not soft. And you want to make sure that the butter gets all down in there, gets melted, so that when you put the bread down, it will be touching butter all over. Okay, you don't want any of the bread to not be on the butter. Okay, and use a pan that's big enough so you can do both sides at the same time. That's a little bit easier for you to do. So we're going to let that cook, and then it's going to get nice and toasty and brown on the sides. Okay, we call it grilled cheese. I think in the past it probably was grilled, but now it really should be called like fried grilled cheese sandwich or a fried cheese sandwich. All right, so I'm putting the cheese on. One of the things, you can put the cheese on just the whole slice, or if you want to make sure that the entire surface of the bread gets covered, just tear it in half and cover the entire piece of bread. Okay, so my bread is cooking there in the butter, it's frying. I like to put the cheese on. You can see the cheese is starting to melt already. And if you're not sure, right, about the bread, you can lift it up a little bit, check it out. If it's not hot, be careful, you can just grab it, right? And we're going to let it cook there for a little bit. One thing about grilled cheese is it doesn't take very long. It's very convenient to make. The ingredients, bread, cheese, butter. 3 ingredients for the basic sandwich. And as I said, it does not take a long time. Right, so I'm going to look at this slice here. I'm going to flip it over. Right. You can see it's getting nice and toasted. And I'm going to let it cook a little bit more on each side because it's not quite finished, you can see here. When you flip it over, the cheese will melt and it'll start to stick the 2 slices of bread together. Okay. Just be careful with the pan. It will be hot. Right. Flip it over. There we go. So we're almost done. We're getting done on that side. And again, the links, the other things that people put bacon in, ham in, all kinds of things. Traditionally, when I was younger, I would eat this with tomato soup. But often I like to eat them just by themselves. Right? And that for me is good, right? I don't want it to be done too much. Make sure you turn your heat off. I don't usually cut my grilled cheese sandwich, but to show you what it looks like, I'm going to today. Right, so you can cut that grilled cheese, and you can see the cheese right there in the middle. It's melted and it's soft, so when I eat it, the sandwich will be hot, crunchy, and cheesy. A traditional, basic grilled cheese sandwich. All right, so that was the grilled cheese sandwich that I made for
We left the
lunch.
apartment.
There was a bit of a
I hope
clogging
that
problem.
was good for you. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Here are the two links that I told you about. So here, recipes for 50 kinds of grilled cheese. Okay, you can try them all. People add all kinds of things: macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes, all kinds of things. This is just a Wikipedia page. It's a very short paragraph, I think, about the cheese sandwich. All right, thank you, and have a great day.